Omni Terminator, Mini Maxx. Which one is the better RC? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, show a little love, help support the channel. Let's grow this channel for 2025. I'd greatly appreciate all of that. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me about this question here, the Mini Maxx versus the Omni Terminator. I guess it's a fair comparison. They're both a small group and they're similar in price. $249 right now today. That's today on Amazon. You can get this one for $229 right off the bat. 3S, 2S. Ooh, that's already a ding against the Traxxas. So let's just start with the underpinnings here. So the Omni Terminator, metal chassis, pretty cool looking. They spent the time with the extra time to engrave. You got these little carbon inserts over here. Very robust and stout control arms. Captured these metal hinge pin blocks right here. A lot of heavy duty stuff in here. They even got these little metal cups here for the screws to go into. Really firm tires here, and very, very well built. So far, you know, I've beat this truck. The only issue I've had with this so far was the wheelie bar, which that reminds me, that was something I was supposed to look. I put titanium bolts in here and they still bent. So I had something heavier duty. And I forgot. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. I don't know what I did with the screws I bought for this. I bought this like really heavy grade, but anyhow, that's another video. So the Traxxas, all plastic. I know that ticks off some people right away, but I don't really have a problem with it. I think either way is good. Plastic's more forgiving. If you're in a really cold climate, maybe you do want the metal because the plastic is less forgiving when it does get cold. But again, really, really robust control arms on here. Like the thickness of these things is absolutely amazing. So we have plastic axles on this one here. No metal cups on any, but both have hex hardware. And this does not come with the wheelie bar. Garage Life RC makes these really cool ones. Traxxas is making their own, but I'd rather prefer to support the mom and pop places. Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on this. So we do have CVDs here in the front and metal dog bones in the rear versus the plastic axles. Now, Rlaarlo gets a ding here for body clips. Not really a fan of that, but they do get major points in my book for having body protector here in the rear, roof skids here in the front. This grill is kind of nice because it does take some of the impact here. Just one support underneath, but so far this has been a good, robust body. Now Traxxas, I like this. We do have the clipless system on here. It is a little hassle getting it on. If you're in a hurry and you slam it down, you can misalign the clips. Now, as you can see, the Traxxas, which I've had way less than this, I've already busted the body on right here. I've also worn out the front here. No roof skids, so that's a major. Now, my Mini Maxx is highly modified, but we'll just talk factory specs. So from the factory, we do get the BL2S, a 2S brushless system. You do get a Traxxas receiver, a very nice remote. I like the Traxxas remotes. I think, you know, they work fairly well. You know, they're pretty comfortable. And then you get the 2S ESC. The power it puts out is okay for this size body. It's actually pretty fun, and if you think about it, you know, they're making these smaller cars. They're mostly for like beginners, so it's okay power for them. I mean, it's not a bad RC. It is direct drive, and that is causing people to have issues with busting diffs and stuff like that. You got to be careful. These are some big tires to be landing and have spinning on a direct drive. So far, I did my own center diff in here, so I haven't had the problem, but therein lies the problem. This is 249, this is 229, this already has a center diff. And here's where you can see where the price, there really is no comparison when you start looking at the parts in here. So 3S system, we have a, what is it, 3650, I don't know, sure the KV motor. Already comes with a heatsink and a fan. That's really nice setup. Receiver is in a nice case here, but right here the ESC also has a fan built in. The Traxxas has no fans on the ESC or motor, none whatsoever. So right here we have metal shocks versus plastic. These are used as clips. These are threaded. This is much easier. You can adjust on the fly. You don't have to bring clips and stuff. And you know, you can just little adjustments, where this is kind of bigger. It's just very clunky. I hate those clip-in adjustable shocks. So both vehicles do have upper and lower control arms, but this does have anti-sway bars. It also has carbon fiber inserts in the control arms, and like I mentioned earlier, you get these really nice metal pins, and you do also get a light bar here in the front. So dollar per dollar, I mean, it's really hard to compare the two. You get honestly so much more here. The shock towers here are metal. A 7075 T6 aluminum, which is done up really nice. You know, so a lot of metal, a lot of good parts on this RC. I will say one thing, the radio system on this thing to me was just overly complicated. I don't have it here, but it has a screen, and a lot of people, I get so many people message me about how to unlock the remote, because there's a lock feature. And then, like for me, when I first turned it on, the tank feature, or whatever you call it, was on. So I went and turned the wheel. You know, most of the time we plug in the batteries, we turn the wheel, make sure it's connected. I turned the wheel and the car took off. and I'm like, oh, it's gonna hit my car, and I turn again. It's going faster and faster. Now I keep steering to avoid stuff, and it's going faster. And oh, I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. I messed with the remote and finally got out of that system. But that shouldn't even be in there for an RC car at all. It shouldn't be there. The gyro is another thing. So this has a gyro, this doesn't. Not really an issue for the Mini Maxx, because I mean, from the factory it's like what, 25, 29 miles an hour. So I think it's 20, I can't remember. But plenty stable without a gyro. This thing is considerably faster. It does help to have the gyro. So now I have a Dumbo radio system in here to make my life easier. Plus, I like to consolidate remotes. With the Traxxas, I can go ahead and bind all my cars to one remote. So that is a plus on the Traxxas electronic part there, that if you have more than one Traxxas, you can put them all on the same remote. Now, they both do come with batteries. The Rlaarlo 2200 milliamp hour 3S. It's not the strongest 3S. I have a video where I have a Z premium battery that I use. So much more power, but it does come with a battery. The Traxxas comes with a 3500 milliamp hour 2S. Now it is nice, this is a smart battery. If you do have other Traxxas products, you can plug this right into your smart charger. Like I said, both do come with chargers. Now for this one, what I did is I just trimmed some of this stuff, some of these supports out of the battery trays, and I put some foam in here so the battery can lay flat. Rlaarlo does offer something to take the ESC and mount it up here to the top, so you can put a bigger battery in here. I really didn't like that. I just think it's awkward and clumsy the way the whole process worked. So I just got a different battery that fit in here, and I'm much happier with that, because I just didn't want to move the ESC. I think that's just kind of dumb. If you wanted to do that, just put it up there to begin with. But, man, I said dollar for dollar, you get so much more with the Omni Terminator. 3S, fans, metal components, and that where Traxxas is you know, I'm not against plastic, but I really hate these plastic shocks. It's 2S versus 3S. And I will say the one issue with this, and it's kind of with the Traxxas too, you really can't program the ESC. But this one, the brakes come on really, really strong, and there's no way to adjust it. I've contacted Rlaarlo and told them, like, hey, you guys really need to come up with a way to program this ESC, either with a program card or to plug it in the computer, something to give us the ability to like tune this thing, tone it down a little bit. And they should honestly be doing it from the factory. I mean, if they've ever driven these things, they ought to see that when you tap the brakes, the thing flips over. But so that's kind of like the negative with this, that it can't be tuned. It is more powerful, but it can't be tuned. But other than that, like I said, dollar for dollar, you get so much more out of Rlaarlo. You know, the wheelie bar is standard, even though it kind of has issues bending these bolts here at the end. I said, geez, I gotta find the dang bolts. That's something I was working on with this car, and I kind of forgot about it. What the heck I bet you I left that bag laying around so long. I said, oh, what is this crap, and threw it into a bin. Jeez. Maybe it's in my Rlaarlo bin. Well, anyhow, that's a subject for another video. I got some batteries charged up. Let's go out there and run them, and you can kind of see the difference. Now, it's going to be a little hard because, yeah, this one is modified. But all in all, we'll still be able to show you kind of like the handling and the jumping and stuff, I think. Also, the Mini Maxx does come with a soft tire in the rear or hard tire in the front. I did put soft tires on the front. I ordered the rears, put them up front, so that way they balloon more and give me a little better air control. So it is a little modified, so it's kind of hard, but I think for the most part, what I just did here on the bench, talked about like the price and the parts that you get, and I think you can see just easily, and I don't play favorites. I bought this car, I don't play favorites with anything. I just kind of keep an open mind, and just, I think it's just kind of easy to see that for the money, you're getting a lot more with the Rlaarlo. Now, the one downside is, and it's a big downside, something to consider. If anything breaks on the Traxxas, go down to your local hobby store. They probably have the parts in stock, or lots of places online like AMAIN and that carry parts all day long for this. This, if you're lucky, you might be able to get the part on Amazon and get it relatively quick. If you have to order from Rlaarlo and you're here in the US, expect at least 2 weeks. 2 freaking weeks. Ask me how I know. Alright guys, I'll see you out at the bash spot. Alright, so I'm just going to do a little run here. So obviously in stock form, the Omni Terminator is way faster. And obviously has way too much in the way of brakes. This is my Z high performance battery. It's supposed to be 120C. Yeah, I think it's the only way you're getting this thing to wheelie. Probably need to thicken that center diff up a little bit, but yeah. So like I said, this one's completely stock, so what you see here is what you're going to get out of the box. These small trucks are a little bit of a handful to drive. They tend to roll and stuff. That's kind of the downside to the smaller stuff. But all in all, it's not bad. This thing has a lot of suspension. A lot of suspension to handle stuff. Very nice on the jumps. Oh no. Backflip. Yes. See, that's the only problem with the factory battery it comes with. It just doesn't have the punch to do that. So this thing jumps really nice. I'm not giving any input. It's just nice, kind of level. Ooh, I made a mistake of tapping the brakes, which are overly aggressive on this car. So that is one problem with this as far as the air control. I'm glad I did that. Actually reminded me of it. That does make air control hard if you're going to have to hit the brakes. But, you know, all in all, the Omni Terminator is like super, super capable at flipping over really easy. Said I ditched the factory radio for the Dumbo. You don't even have to get this fancier one. I even had the cheaper one. I'm not even sure why I put this one on this radio, but because this thing only holds 10 cars, so I try to limit what I put on here. But this actually it's a really fun, very capable car, and I think what you get for the money, it's hand down, you know, hate to say it, the winner. I don't even hate to say it, I just honestly, you're just getting so much more for your money here. I mean, you're talking a center diff, 3S, you have fans on the ESC and motor, way more suspension to be had, metal parts, which, you know, like I said, plastic's fine, but, you know, this thing it does a lot of stuff well. I mean, like I said, this is just a problem with the smaller cars, with rolling over and being somewhat difficult to jump and stuff like that. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time. We gotta give the Mini Maxx some love here, show you what it's like. But it is a little kind of unfair because Mini Maxx is highly modified. But I really like the Omni Terminator. Rlaarlo did an excellent job putting this thing together. Just, man, if they could make the ESC tunable where you could calm down that brake, that would be so much better. So much better. I'll just show you this because I put a censored motor in here. Oh, that's freaking awesome. But yeah, out of the box, you were not going to do that with this RC. This was about like its speed out of the box was, and it actually, oh, I was about to say it handles good, and then it goes and flips. I'm gonna be honest, out of the box on 2S, I think it's a fine RC. It does good. I think, you know, speed was decent. You gotta, you know, figure the target audience probably is kids. So what I'm trying to do is just maintain this thing as to what it was factory, because I mean, it definitely wasn't like that. We'll say even from the factory on 2S, you're still going to have to be careful landing on power, landing with a lot of wheel speed, because it doesn't have a center diff. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say it, but for me, you know, I had the center diff, and I haven't broken anything. But in that situation, this is good. What you guys need to do, man, when you jump, hit the ramp, oops, take your finger off the throttle, and just let it do what it's going to do. Let's see if we can actually land it decent this time. Figure the first time I didn't touch the throttle at all, it landed perfect. Yeah, if you don't have a center, this is any car that's direct drive. Don't go out there trying to backflip it. Don't keep your finger on the throttle. And then you will be fine. See there, I had to give a little gas, try to bring that front end up. And that's the big downside. I really wish Traxxas would at least put like a slipper clutch in this thing. I think that would have resolved a lot of issues for people. I really just can't believe a big company like Traxxas would make something like that as direct drive. Now granted, the Groms are direct drive too, but they are smaller, lighter cars. Even if you get like the 3S BLX stuff, it's gonna be fat, but the tires and that are so much smaller. They don't carry the reciprocating mass weight of what these aren't, I mean, these aren't large tires, but scale wise they kind of are. But the Mini Maxx, all in all, out of the box stock 2S is a good car. I think, you know, I think it's plenty fast, it's fun. I think, you know, for small ones, those of us that are lunatics want to add more power, which is crazy. But hands down, comparison between the two, you get so much more for your money with the Rlaarlo. Like I said, you know, just 3S and a center diff alone, same price, and actually, even like I said, right now it's cheaper. So it is the better buy. This thing is still, I think might need a little gyro. Might have to put like a, did I put a gyro in here? I don't think I did I? No, I probably should have. It'd probably help this thing out tremendously in this. Because honestly, Traxxas' gyro is actually pretty good. And this thing does very well at high speeds for a small vehicle. Even as fast as I can get it on 3S. 3S is just insane for this thing. 3S to 3S now comparison. This is way more power. This is definitely a lot faster and more. But I'm not trying to compare modified to stock. We're trying to do stock to stock. So that's why I toned it down a little bit for this. Because I think I did like a triple backflip off this ramp with this thing. Oh no! Freaking just wheeling. Let's see if we hit this thing with some speed, if we could triple it. Oh, probably help if I hit the actual ramp. The problem, I knew I was jumping these small cars, and I kind of put the amp at an angle so I wouldn't have such a big, so it's not straight. I kind of have to come at it. Ooh, that didn't work out good. Oh, anyway, it's too cold. I'm not gonna do it and break something, but there you have it, everyone. Head-to-head comparison: Rlaarlo Omni Terminator versus the Traxxas Mini Maxx. I say winner, hands down, Omni Terminator all day. What you get for the money, hands down, it's far superior. Actually, believe it or not, you know, Rlaarlo, fairly new company, putting out some great stuff. I really hope they start putting out some larger scale stuff. That's really going to shake up the RC world if they can put like this kind of stuff into something larger scale at a good price. The Mini Maxx, you know, it's not a bad car. It's decent for what it is, but it just, you get so much more here. And, you know, like I said, for big tires like this, I mean, like, look, this thing really should have just came with a center diff or a slipper clutch, at least at a minimum. Now, I know some people want to see this compared to like the Groms. I don't know if that's completely fair. Maybe the BLX brushless to brushless, which I don't have. I just have a converted one. But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't want to shoot that video. I'm going to leave it at this because I know this is kind of like I think a better price point comparison and stuff like that. But there you have it. That's my opinion. I think the Omni Terminator is going to win over this all day long. So that's my opinion. If you don't agree, you know, oh well. But, you know, that's just, you know, I'm just being honest about it. You know, you just look at apples to apples. You know, there's more here than there for the same price. And this one, like I said, is even cheaper. So, all right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.